Hello and welcome back to Eurosatory News. I'm Akil Wingate and I am joined by Fabien BESSE, who is with NUTRIDRY here at
Hello.
Eurosatory. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, from my part, personally, I am quite familiar with NUTRIDRY and its whole gamut of products. But today you brought not only the kind of products that I'm familiar with from doing sport, etc., but some of the other products that also would be deployed in the field for first responders, military, etc.
Yeah, sure.
Before we get into some of the treats that you have here, why is it important for NUTRIDRY to be here today at Eurosatory?
Actually, this is fundamental. Food is at the fundamental of what people need, actually. Human being, before going to monitor anything, you need to eat first and to drink. So fundamentally, we do think that food is at the beginning of everything. That's what we are here, for this first reason. There is another reason, is that we are partnering with the French army for long. Okay. We are also working with other European armies, and we supply actually food to soldiers all over Europe. So we are pretty well known among the armies.
And not only the army, but I imagine first responders, fire people, ambulance, etc.
Yeah.
Especially for the people who have those high impact careers.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, what we try to do at NUTRIDRY is a company. We are French. We are locally based here in France. We have several factories, but our main job is to supply food to every circumstance and to every situation. That means that our R&D department, our marketing team are dedicated to understand people and consumer needs, starting with the first responders, starting with people on the field, soldiers, etc. In order to address the specific needs in terms of calories, but also in terms of pleasures. This is fundamental to bring to these consumers comfort in moments, sometimes of discomfort. So this is basically what we do at NUTRIDRY. We try to elaborate, we design nutritional solutions adapted to a lot of circumstances and a lot of situations.
Why don't you walk us through what we have here with you today?
But actually, there are many stuff that we can do. What the basic, our main technology, the know-how of the company, is freeze dry. Okay. Freeze dry is an amazing technology, actually, that transforms food. You need to have frozen food. Then you can dry it by sublimation. That's a process that makes food last longer. As you have not the water inside the food, the ingredients, it can last a lot, really long. And we will see right after that sometimes you can go up to 25 years of best
25
before.
years?
Wow. Yeah. So this is fundamentally one of the main benefits of freeze drying. The taste is really good. Even after 25 years, we manage to get an amazing taste after 25 years.
It manages to retain the taste and the flavor after all that time.
Yeah, sure. Because actually of the technology and then the packing. What we... Maybe I can show some products.
Sure, absolutely.
Here. One we bring here for the Eurosatory. This is brand new, actually. This is a brand called Emergency Food. Okay. The technology is based on freeze dry. So the recipe inside is frozen dried. This is a tin box, and in this tin box, actually, you can feed one family, four or five people with this. The beauty behind it is the packing plus the freeze drying process can manage to last up to 25 years, meaning you can be prepared to every kind of situation, to any risk. You have a little stock at home or in the institution just to be prepared and to be ready in case of disruption. Whatever it can be about the weather, it can be about geopolitically. We have this solution, and it's just something to think at one moment and to forget, but to use in case of emergency.
So, for example, a non-governmental organization that intervenes in a crisis situation, be it weather or displacement or something other. can use this to feed people who are in distress.
Yeah.
Particularly in a zone where there's food insecurity.
Definitely.
And this can right here will feed a family.
Yeah, this one is for family, and this one, the big one, the big tin, is for a community.
Wow.
With this one, you can provide a meal to 20 people. With this.
Wow. With this can.
With this can, it's a meal for 20 people around it.
Okay, so let's imagine that let's say that, for example, we are on the field and we are intervening in a community. And we bring these two items here. How would you prepare it? How do you actually get from the can to a meal for a community?
So inside, and this is also why we can last. It can last actually up to 25 years. It's dried. Mm-hmm. We have an oxygen absorber inside just to preserve also the atmosphere inside the can. So what you need to do is first remove the absorber, oxygen absorber, then to put it in, in a
like a bowl or something.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You add boiling water inside. Okay. You cook a little bit, and in 10 minutes it's ready.
Wow!
So you just need to add water, boiling water to that. And that's okay, and that's ready, and
ready
that's
to eat.
Tasty, and that's something on which I insist a little bit on the taste, because as a French company, we try to also to be functionally present when we need food, but also to bring something else
to
and
preserve that sort of gastronomic reputation that the French have.
For every circumstance, yeah. That's why we work actually with a 3-star Michelin chef.
Wow.
That help us actually to determine and to cook the recipe, to make the most from the freeze-dry process we are into, and to actually to feed with pleasure a lot of people.
And behind it, I see there's a can of water here.
Yeah, sure. This
is fascinating. I'm told that this will last up to 25 years as well.
Actually, this is 15 years.
15 years.
For the water, we have a certificate to last for 15 years.
Wow.
This is local water as well. This is made in the Pyrenees, you know, at the southwest of France. This is a partner doing this for us. What we do, it's so this is water coming from the soil, coming from the mountain of the Pyrenees. There is a little treatment which need to be done before putting in the can. You need to pasteurize a little bit and to add a little bit of citric acid just to maintain the stability and to make the water drinkable during 15 years. And what we maintain also is an oligo element inside. That's strategic actually for us. Water for every situation. We all know the situation about water now. But what we do dry. So without any water, you cannot eat all our products. So that's strategic for us to also have this kind of water to provide organization, governments, or even individuals, family, with water in order to pack it with the food.
And going forward into the future, seeing how food scarcity and water scarcity is becoming more and more a topic of concern for everyone, something like this is obviously going to be extremely important in the next few years.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, the kind of discussion we have with the governments or with council houses or organization, NGOs, mention specifically what you told. This is so strategic. We cannot actually avoid eating something. That's why now they begin to understand more and more the role of nutrition and food in this kind of situation. It was not the case before.
Yeah, another thing comes to mind when we think of climatic catastrophes. For example, imagine you're someplace like the U.S. where a hurricane hits, the water source is contaminated, and there's no means to use that local water source that would normally provide comfort and support to the locals. So instead, something of this nature becomes extremely important.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just those situations where it's geopolitically situated, or it's a food scarcity situation, or even a climate where you can't find a water source.
Definitely.
But it could happen to anyone, in
Definitely.
fact.
Actually, we try to help people to thrive against any risk. We are working with the French firefighters for long because they need this kind of solution also for themselves when they are doing their job, actually, but also for the civilian they are protecting because they need food, water first before anything else. So that's why that's so important.
But before we go, I do notice you also have some bars and some sports nutrition items here as well. We'd be remiss not to mention that NUTRIDRY also supports a community of athletes, what have you, and weekend warriors, so to speak.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, we support athletes. We support soldiers that we consider as athletes because they have energetic needs comparable actually to athletes. So this brand is really well known by the French armies because we supply for 20 years now the French armies on this, so called MX3. What we do is we do freeze-dry meals that can be taken away, that can go with the warriors during their exercise, etc. And from this expertise we built with soldiers, actually we expand the brand also on the nutrition part, the sport nutrition part. So now we have this brand, we are developing this brand actually on the sport business, and we address specifically the needs of triathlete, of sailor. Also, we work with a lot of sailors.
A full ecosystem of sport.
Definitely.
Well, Fabien BESSE, it has been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and certainly it's been truly inspiring and exciting to see what NUTRIDRY is bringing to the table. No pun intended, but pun intended. Thank you again, and absolute pleasure. Good luck with the rest of the week. And there you have it, Fabien BESSE with NUTRIDRY, who was here at Eurosatory. He's joined us here at Eurosatory News with some savory items to digest. We'll be back after these messages, so please stay tuned.